Dibre haYamim AlЄph, First Chronicles chapter 11. And all Israel came together to David at Hebron, saying, See, we are your bone and your flesh. Also in time past, even when Shaul was sovereign, you were the one who led Israel out and brought them in. And Yah your Elohim said to you, Shepherd my people Israel, and be ruler over my people Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the sovereign at Hebron, and David made a covenant with them at Hebron before Yah. And they anointed David sovereign over Israel according to the word of Yah by Shemuel. And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were, the inhabitants of the land. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, You do not come in here. But David captured the stronghold of Sion, the city of David. And David said, Whoever strikes the Jebusites first becomes chief and commander. And Joab, son of Zeruiah, went up first and became chief. And David dwelt in a stronghold, so they called it the city of David. And he built the city around it from Millo round about, and Joab revived the rest of the city. And David went on and became great, and Yah's host was with him. And these were the heads of the mighty men who David had, who strengthened themselves with him and his reign, with all Israel, to set him up to reign over Israel, according to the word of Yah. And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had. Yashobam, son of Hachmonite, chief of the 30. He had lifted up his spear against 300 slain at one time. After him was Elasar, son of Dodo, the Ahohite, who was one of the 3 mighty men. He was with David at Pasdamim, and the Philistines were gathered there for battle, and a portion of the field was filled with barley, and the people had fled before the Philistines. But they took their stand in the midst of that field, and delivered it, and struck the Philistines. Thus Yah saved them by a great deliverance. And 3 of the 30 chiefs went down to the rock to David, into the cave of Adullam, while the army of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in the stronghold, and the watchpost of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, Oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 broke through the camp of the Philistines and drew water from the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. But David would not drink it, but poured it out to Yah. And he said, Far be it from me, O my Elohim, that I should do this. Should I drink the blood of these men who have risked their lives? For at the risk of their lives they brought it. And he would not drink it. This is what the 3 mighty men did. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, was chief of another 3. And he had lifted up his spear against 300 men who were slain, and won a name among the 3. Of the 3 he was more esteemed than the other 2 men, so he became their head. However, he did not come to the first 3. Benaiah was the son of Jehoiada, the son of a brave man from Kabet Seel, who had done many deeds. He struck 2 lion-like Moabites. He also went down and struck a lion in the midst of a pit on a snowy day. And he struck a Mitzrian, a man of great height, 5 cubits tall. And in the Mitzrian's hand was a spear like a weaver's beam. And he went down to him with a staff, and wrenched the spear out of the Mitzrian's hand, and killed him with his own spear. This is what Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, did, and won a name among the 3 mighty men. See, he was more esteemed than the 30, but he did not come to the first 3, and David set him over his court. And the mighty men of the armies were Asahel, the brother of Joab, Elchanan, son of Dodo, of Bethlehem, Shamoth, the Harorite, Cheletz, the Pelonite, Ira, son of Achish, the Tekovite, Abiezer, the Anathothite, Sibbecai, the Hushathite, Eli, the Ahohite, Maharai, the Netophathite, Heled, son of Baanah, the Netophathite. Ithai, son of Ribai, of Geba. Of the children of Benjamin, Benaiah, the Pirathonite. Hurai of the Wadis of Gaish. Abiel, the Arbathite. Asmaveth, the Baharumite. Eliaba, the Shaalbonite. The sons of Hashem, the Gizonite. Jonathan, son of Shageh, the Hararite. Achyan, son of Sakar, the Hararite. Eliphal, son of Hefer, the Mecherathite. Ahiah, the Pelonite. Chetzro, the Carmelite. Naarai, son of Esbai. Yoel, the brother of Nathan. Mibhar, son of Hagri. Selek, the Ammonite. Naharai, the Beerothite, the armor-bearer of Joab, son of Zeruiah. Ira the Yithrite, Gareb the Yithrite, Uriah the Hittite, Zabad, son of Achlai, Adina, son of Shiza, the Reubenite, the head of the Reubenites, and 30 with him. Hanan, son of Makkah, and Yoshaphat, the Mithnite, Uzziah, the Ashtorethite, Shammah, and Yeiel, sons of Hotham, the Arorite. Yediael, son of Shimri, and Yochai, his brother, the Titzite. Eliel, the Machavite, and Yerubai, the Yashviah, the sons of Elnaam. Ithma, the Moabite. Eliel and Obed, and Yaasiel of Metzobiah.